Do a little audio check here. Test 1, 2.
Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.
And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Remington Park Update here on Raceview Network Live. We're coming to you live from the Raceview Network Global Broadcast Complex, located just off the shores of beautiful Lake Hefner in Oklahoma City. We're glad you're here. Thanks for showing up. And we hopefully are going to inform you a lot on tomorrow night's card at Remington Park in Oklahoma City, Closing day of the Fall Thoroughbred Meet. 5 stakes races, topped by the Springboard Mile, a $400,000 event for 2-year-olds, with Kentucky Derby implications down the road for the top 4 finishers. They may be acquiring qualifying points for eligible runners. On the card, there are 5 different stakes races. And the 2 top trainers in the country, Brad Cox and Steve Asmussen, have multiple entries on the stakes cards coming up tomorrow night, and we'll be seeing a few of their horses here tonight. We're going to start with the She's All In Stakes, $100,000, 3-year-old and up, fillies and mares running 1 mile and 70 yards. Brad Cox will saddle MARION Francis in the She's All In Stakes, owned by Madacat Stables, Kent Spillman, and Wonder Stables. MARION Francis is multiple stakes placed. She has 3 wins, 3 seconds, and 3/3 from 10 outings and $232 plus in earnings. Brad Cox will give a leg up to Martin Garcia in tomorrow night's She's All In Stakes. Speaking of She's All In, She's All Wolf's mother is the namesake of this race, a daughter of Magna Gratitude. Both of them have won multiple editions of the Oklahoma Classics Distaff. She's All Wolf ticket for the 2nd time in a row on October 15th. Trained by Donnie Von Hemel, her regular rider is Richard Aramia, who will be in the saddle tomorrow night in the She's All In Stakes at Remington Park. 2-year-old fillies exclusively have their time in the spotlight tomorrow night in the Trapeze Stakes. And in that race, another Brad Cox horse, Golden Sights, who ran 2nd in the Run Happy Ellis Park Debutante Stakes. She has a win in 2 seconds in 4 starts and earnings of almost $100,000. Golden Sights is a Kentucky-bred daughter of Golden Sense out of the Escandrea mare, Celestial Sighting. Another one trained by the Thoroughbred Racing's leading trainer, Brad Cox. Again, Martin Garcia will be in the saddle on Golden Sights. Part of the local contingent is Midnight Twilight, trained by the 2nd leading trainer in the country, Steve Asmussen. Stuart Elliott will be in the irons. She took the Oklahoma Classics Lassie this year in a big way, as you can see here. Morning Twilight ran 2nd in the Slideshow Stakes, behind a filly she will meet in the trapeze. Filly by the name of Hits Pricey Legacy. $91,000 in earnings for Morning Twilight. She has 2 wins from 3 starts. And here is Hits Pricey Legacy, a winner of 2 races and 4 starts and 2 seconds, always in the money so far, $97,000 in earnings. Hits Pricey Legacy is a daughter of Den's Legacy out of the Concord Point mare, High Price Hit. Here she is in the Slideshow Stakes. And the 4-horse there behind her is Morning Twilight. So fairly decisive victory in this race for Hits Price Legacy, who is owned, bred, and trained by C.R. Trout. So 2 pretty competitive races there for the 2 different female divisions, 2-year-old fillies and then 3-year-olds and up in the Trapeze Stakes and the She's All In, part of the multi-race card at Remington Park tomorrow night, December 7th, here in Oklahoma City. The Springboard Mile carries a $400,000 purse. 2-year-olds in this one. And this is a very competitive race. In the morning line, there are 5 horses that fall between 7-2 and 6-1. It shows what the morning line maker, he realizes how tight of a field this is and how competitive it just could be. We're going to start by looking at a horse outside of that range. A bit of a long shot, Revener, who broke his maiden here in this 1-mile test on October 14th. It's the 7-horse here on the outside. Closely stalked the pace for most of the race. This Kentucky-bred son of Hard Spun and Tappin' at the Door by Tappet. And then Revener pulls away fairly easily to win by 3 or 4 lengths there. Revener then went on to run second in the Clever Trevor Stakes. So he is stakes placed, and but he could be in tough here. We will see. Steve Asmussen will saddle Classic Moment, who has a first and a third from 2 starts and upwards of $77,000 in earnings, owned by L&N Racing and Winchell Thoroughbreds. Classic Moment is by Classic Empire, out of Victory Party by Yankee Victor, bred in Kentucky. Another from the Steve Asmussen barn, Concept, owned by Tony Holmes and Winchell Thoroughbreds. Concept won the Kip DeVille Stakes here at Remington Park back in September, early in the meet. Another one with 1 win and 1/3 out of 4 starts, upwards of $58,000 in earnings. Carlos Montalvo will ride Concept for trainer Steve Asmussen in the Springboard. The local contingent in the Springboard is led by Rowdy Rascal, who has 3 wins from 4 starts, and here he is being rowdy as we shot video of him before the Don McNeil Stakes. But roughly 24 hours later, he's got his mind on business, and here he is going about 5 wide in the turn for home in the Don McNeil, and opens up a decisive victory of margin here. Margin of victory, that is. Nothing like the Oklahoma Classics Juvenile when he barely got up at the finish line to win this one for trainer Boyd Castor. Freddie Manrique has been riding him, and he will be in the irons tomorrow night in the Springboard Mile. The morning line favorite in the Springboard is a horse called Make It Big. He's shipped here from Gulfstream Park in Florida. He's 2 for 2 after winning a stakes race there at Gulfstream. Let's take a look at Make It Big. Trained by Safi Joseph Jr., who'll be ridden by Jose Ortiz. Owned by Red Oak Stable. He's a son of Neolithic and the Congrats mare Ruby on My Mind. Make It Big was bred in Florida. And he won the Ocala Stud Juvenile Sprint Stakes by 2 1/4 lengths. 2 for 2 with earnings of over $63,000. Make It Big's handler while here in Oklahoma City is Sarah Schaefer. We talked to her yesterday morning about Make It Big.
Think highly of him, and I know that the manager for Red Oak, they had this race picked out for him. They thought it was a good spot, and it lined up well for him. He's had a little time in between his stake win, so he should come back good for this one.
So what's been his regimen here in Oklahoma City since he got here? What have you been doing?
So far, he's king of the castle. I mean, he's the only horse we have, so he's getting all of our attention and gets out in the afternoons for a nice walk and goes out to the track. He stands for as long as he wants to. We went out today for the first time. He went across the surface very nicely, and he's comfortable out there, and he soaks it all in. He's very smart.
Sarah Schaefer from the Safi Joseph Stable. Working with Make It Big, the morning line favorite in the $400,000. Excuse me. Springboard Mile. $400,000 event that tops the card tomorrow night. In addition to the other stakes races we already mentioned, also on the card is the You See It Stakes for 3-year-old fillies at a mile, $70,000 the purse. And the Jim Thorpe Stakes, 3-year-olds, fillies and colts and geldings going 1 mile, running for a $70,000 purse. And of course, as we said before, the $400,000 Springboard Mile will top the card. A field of 9 going in that one. And then as well as the She's All In and Trapeze Stakes, both carrying $100,000 purses, will round out the card. So a big night of racing, special post time, 5 p.m. as opposed to they've been running at 6:07 or something like that throughout the meet. 5 p.m. post time, and that's it for the 2021 racing season. The track opens back up with thoroughbreds in March of 2022. Excuse me. And that about wraps it up for this show. Look for us soon after Christmas for a 2021 wrap-up show where we'll have highlights from throughout the thoroughbred racing season. That, as well as the Remington Park Update Series, has been graciously sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma. We appreciate them and everything they do for Oklahoma thoroughbred horsemen, who they are the official representative of in legislative issues and dealing with racetracks and the purses and everything. TRAO, T-R-A-O, is the official representative of thoroughbred horsemen in the state of Oklahoma. And they have sponsored us, and we sure appreciate it. That's going to be it for now. We're glad you could join us, and hope to see you here a little more than a week for our 2021 season highlights from Remington Park.
Remington Park Update is sponsored by the Thoroughbred Racing Association of Oklahoma.